Welcome to the Pretty Red ENT Show. It's your girl goddess Naquita, aka Pretty Red ENT. And if nobody told you they loved you today, just know that goddess Naquita, she loves you today. And I'm sending so much love and light out into the whole entire universe. Okay. So guys, I don't know. I really missed y'all. I have a hot topic that I want to talk about. But today, this episode is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be random, if I'm just going to be on a rant or not. But I kind of really want to talk about, like, the things that a lot of people say to me. And maybe people say this to y'all, and I'm trying to help people out because a lot of times people don't ask before they appoint you to something good, if this makes sense. So I was talking about this to one of my friends, and they was like, I really feel like you need to talk about this topic because a lot of people don't really understand this. And as a spiritual woke person that I am, I really and actually like really taking the time out to really love myself and wonder like, okay, where's my energy going to? Why is I have a lot of energy going to this person? Like a lot of times you gotta like start asking yourself this question. Am I overextending myself in this person's life and this is the reason why a lot of my energy is going there? Or what's really going on? Because a lot of times people don't understand this. As if you're a man or a woman, like you're just telling me like, okay, well, every time I'm around you, good stuff happens to you, but it doesn't necessarily happen to me. Or a lot of times that you're the blessing in people's life. And it's like, it's an honor to be around you. And people treat you that way. And then there's some people who they know that you're a blessing in their life that still don't treat you like that. And then what happens is your feelings end up getting hurt and you start crying about that because you overextend yourself in something. Or you recognize that you probably lived in the house that they currently live in and you want to help them out. Okay, because this is a great example. Like, hey, like maybe at one point in time in life, I was depressed and I see that you are depressed. So I try to come help you up out of depression. But what they end up doing is taking a lot out of me to help you, which I don't have a problem with that. But the problem really is that you still say hurtful things and do hurtful things to me on purpose. And it's like, what? Like, I can understand and forgive you for the area that you in. The thing is, I don't overextend myself or try to help people who don't want help. I only help people that say, hey, you mind talking to me for a minute? Like, I really need help. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm really trying to come up out of the things that I am involved in right now. And this needs to be talked about. And I'm going to talk about it in a lot of different areas that you probably haven't heard it in, or probably heard the way I interpret it and the way I'm going to give it y'all. I'm trying to give y'all game, free, okay? Because I love people and I love helping people. And if people know me, like, I don't care who you are. Like, people who know me, like, and if I know that people are purposely messing with you, I will personally come be your friend or try to help you up out of your situation. Like, just because I don't like that. And sometimes, like, I used to get done that way. So I typically don't like when people do that because I don't like how that feels. I don't like to be done that way. So I wouldn't do nobody else that way. And people don't be like, no, I'm not going to hurt you because I know how it feels to be hurt. I know how, like, when I might need help and I'm asking for help and I don't get it, I know how it feels to not get help. So I'm going to help you if you ask me. But sometimes I can see people need help and I'll try to like hurry up and go over there and help them. They're like, I didn't want the help. You chose to come over here and help me. I didn't ask you for help. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You know what? Let me take my black butt right on back down the street and go lay down in my house, okay? Let me go out here and go back and lay down. Because you know what? I just overextended myself. And your situation had nothing to do with me. But because I seen where you were at, because I used to be there, I wanted to help you out. And people don't understand. They're like, no, that do a lot for you. But sometimes is when you utilize yourself for the universe, God, whoever you believe in, sometimes God placed you there to help people. Like, and I really feel like sometimes like I can sit up there and I can see like a situation go on, right? And I see like a person is just hating on this person, but this person really just not have no bad blood in their blood. And they're just like, bro, I really just need, they be praying to God. They're like, I just really need God to show up right now. Like, help, send me help right now. And then here come me. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, are you helping this person or are you in the way? Come on, like, let me help you out. And that'd be the answer. I'd be the answer sometimes to people's prayers. And people don't understand that sometimes you do. Like, I'm like, oh, you know what? Sometimes you might even just need some encouragement. And it's like, all these people around me, they don't encourage me because you're around the wrong people. But then you can pray or you can manifest the right people, to my universal, my spiritual people. You know what I'm saying? Because prayer and manifest is the same thing, but we ain't finna have that conversation today. But you can be sitting there really like, I really need better friends. I'm going to be taken away from this toxic energy. I need to be shown what it's like to not be around that type of energy. So here goes the universe conspiring for you to place you in an area exactly where you need to be at. People don't understand that. You need the right people on your side. You need people that motivate you at all times. They're calling you, motivating you. If you always calling people, motivating them, but they don't return the motivation, you're going to have to disconnect from those people. And it's okay. You know what? It's okay. It's okay, Cousin Joe. It's okay. And I'm not talking about, my Uncle Joe, but I'm talking about like just an example of like, Joe, it's okay. Like, you could tell like your family members, even if you have a family members who doesn't really encourage you. It's okay to disconnect from them people. Listen, you're not part of them. They probably not even a part of your soul tribe. You can be born into a family, but they're probably not a part of you. Like, they're probably not a part of your team, probably not a part of anything, because their only purpose is to push you outside of your limit to go find the people that were destined to be around you. And that's okay. Okay? And they always pop up. I'm telling you, when it comes time to where people, the way how they view me, a lot of people view me. And now listen, this is a great story because I want to tell y'all that, because I had a few, the past week I had some conversations with people and the way how they view me. And then I'm like, do I view you in the same light? People like, I just want to say you're the positive part of my life. And I'm thinking to myself, but you're not the positive part of my life. Oh, what is really going on? How can I be the positive part of your life? And why should I even talk to you if you're not the positive part of my life? Like, I feel like you only call me when your energy low. I feel like you only call me when you know that my energy is super high and you want me to pour some of my light on you, but you don't pour some of your light on me. Like, really? But then you get those people who, they'll give you a little bit, but they don't give it all to you the way how you just shining bright. They just give you a little shine and then they don't call back for like 10 days. Pay attention to those people, guys. Like, don't allow people to play with y'all. This is not the year. I be telling people that like, so I don't play, baby, I don't play halftime. I don't play, I'm like, baby, if you're going through something and we friends, I should know. Like, and I had a lot of people coming up talking to me recently about like, man, I haven't heard from my friend in a while, but they said that they were going through something and you accepted that they couldn't communicate, but because now in 2024, baby, we either friends or we family. And my friend group, they are acquaintances. So if I call you my friend and I really, really love you, like, you gonna know that I love you because of the way how I step for you and the way how you gonna know. You gonna know the difference. I don't step for my friends. I step for my friends the same way as my family. I always treat people that way because I always tell people I got a huge family. I never really had friends outside of my family because I have a huge family. And yes, we be bickering, we be arguing, but you better not one time say anything negative about any of my family members in front of me because I'm not going to go. Granted, you might even be right about this family member, but you ain't finna sit up there and say nothing bad about them in front of me. Even though they might be in the dark, I'm just not that type of person. I don't like when people talk negative about people. Then why you around them? I always hear people, well, why you around them then? But when you family, I feel like you have that more intimate conversation. Like, hey, I don't like what you doing, and different things like that. And you're motivating them, so it's a little bit different to me. So how I view friends and family now are totally different, to the point where I'm like, okay, guys. I literally told somebody this. What was this? 2 years ago. I was like, I'm not once I get me a bed, I ain't got no more friends. I done did my friend years. My friend years is over with. I either love you like I love my family members, or I don't love you at all. And there ain't no like, I love you as a person. I care about you. But as far as anything else, nah, I don't play games like that, baby. Me and you ain't friends. What we friends for? I don't have friends. I have family. So you either a part of the family or you not a part of my family. If you're not a part of my family, guess what? We gonna have to depart. Quick, fast, and ASAP. I don't tolerate anything less than that. And some people are like, well, no, I do not tolerate that. And the thing about that is that spiritual awareness, that's actually honoring myself. And I had to tell somebody the other day, they was like, hey, Mercury retrograde coming up. And I guess I'm kind of preparing y'all for Mercury retrograde and how to get these people to stop coming back. They don't understand. I literally had some dude like, man, you are the best girl I ever talked to. And I just love you to death. I said, if I was the best girl you ever talked to, you love me for the way how I loved you, then why I don't feel the same way about you? Like, it's to the point where I really feel like I should disrespect you at this point because you ain't heard nothing I said. Don't call me no more. Don't call my phone. Don't text me. Don't text me. Don't call me. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't call me. But I don't feel like you have been a real good friend. But if I'm a real good friend to you, like I had an episode, I'm not calling you to refriend you. You calling me. So at some point, I have to set healthy boundaries like this. And it was like, this dude's like, but you are like the brightest person that I have ever met, positive. I only been around like negative things. And so when I'm praying and I was asking God, like, hey, I want this in the woman, I want that. And then bam, I meet you. Like 2 minutes after my prayer, I said, I meet you. Okay. And 2 minutes on Black people time for people who are not African American. 2 minutes can mean 2 months, 2 weeks. Okay. Like it's just 2 minutes later. Okay. It can literally mean 2 minutes too, but it's 2 minutes later. It's just, a few minutes later after I said a prayer, you just popped up and you was just this bright person and you're like, hey, and I meet you, you sexy. Like literally this dude told me a whole story because I got to tell y'all this because it's kind of funny because I was like, I really went in and I'm like, I don't know why you keep calling me. Like you're the positive part. Like I prayed for a wife and then, you pop up and you got every quality. And it was kind of scary to me. I'm like, that was scary to you? Yeah, because how I pray for something and God just delivered that fast. I was like, hold on. Like, you got to understand something. When this man literally said this, like, and I literally fell out. And I got to tell people this because this is really funny. Like, he's like, and I pray, and then God just blessed me that fast. Like, man, I thought I was doing some mass evil stuff. But I was like, how would God do that fast? Okay. And I ain't laughing at him because he laughed too because it was funny. He's like, man, it's just like, because it's the way how he told the story is funny because he is hilarious, by the way. But he was like, and you just popped up, you came up real fast. And I was like, oh, he's like, and then you became a positive part of my life. And I never really knew that. And so this is why I treat you the way that I treat you. And it's totally different. Now, when I entertained this young man, he was so toxic. It's like, man, like, are you so... And then when you're dealing with very highly spiritual beings, when you're dealing with light people, we already know what you're doing. We done seen it, heard it, smelt it, whatever our spiritual gifts is, we don't know. But sometimes we are told that, hey, I need you. Because a lot of people don't know this is a spiritual conversation that really goes on. Like whether you spiritual, whether it's with God, whoever. This is what a conversation sounds like if you're supposed to be in a person's life. I literally had one time, I literally was sitting down one day and I forgot where I was at. I was just, I don't know. I felt like I was just walking around. And this lady came, it was like this present came, and it was like grandma. She's like, hey, look, you about to meet my grandson. Like you ain't I know he ain't your husband. It was really weird because it was kind of like, I don't know. Like I kind of feel like well, we gonna have that talk too. I gotta talk about that. But he's like, he ain't your husband, but I need you to open him up to love because we really trying to bless him. He been doing so good compared to how he used to do, and we're trying to bless him with love. And he needs to experience this love, and it's time for him. Like it was a whole conversation. Like it was really weird, and it was like, okay, he has a contract. He about to meet his wife, but he's so in this toxic energy that he's gonna just, like, he just gonna forget that this is his wife, and his wife gonna walk away, and she ain't gonna never deal with him ever again. And then they got to come back and do it again because they didn't meet up and become husband and wife. And she's like, do you think that you can talk to him about love? Like, and just open him up. Like, don't do anything sexual. Like, listen, it was a conversation. Like, please don't do nothing sexual with him. Just like, do what you do with love. And it was like really weird. And I'm like, I know I'm not tripping. Because then some people be like, that's Holy Spirit. But Holy Spirit always used people. And it was like this grandma like, hey, but talk to me. It was really weird. And I was like, all right, I got you. She's like, because no matter what, you're going to come across them. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah. Like, and it was really weird. And I met her grandson. And I was like, hey, what's up? Like, it was really weird. And he started talking to me. He's like, man, I miss my grandma. And this and that. And he was talking to me about his mom. And some of the different things like that go on with love. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, I want to take you out on a date. I was like, do you usually date women? He's like, nah, but I kind of want to take you out on a date. Like, you have a different vibe. Like, I just want to take you out on a date. I was like, all right, cool. Now, mind y'all, this happened a long time ago. So we out on this date, and I don't know. Some of the stuff he did was kind of toxic, okay? And I was like, so you think that you should just ask a woman to enter her body the first time you take her out on a date? He was like, I never really thought about it that way. I was always taught, like, you know, once you take a girl out on a date, like, you getting the goods. That's what you really go out on a date for, to get the goods. I'm like, but you have no, so just because you feel like my vibe is good, what happened if it was all fake? And it wasn't good. But my vibe is good, by the way. And I was like, so you just willing to stick your penis in me and don't even really know me for real? Like, I find that like horrible. Like, and I don't think people understand this. Like, this is why they don't, I'm actually telling people about me, and the reason why they be like, I don't know why he just love you. Like, and I'm like, because I probably really taught him spiritual boundaries, but I also really taught him like love. And I started crying. I was like, imagine me, like, I know I'm pretty, but dang, you don't want to get to know me for real? You just want to stick yourself inside of me without really getting to know me in my heart. My heart is one of the most beautiful things on me. And he was like, dang. Like, he's like, I was like, this would have been a very good date. You would have been a very good guy to actually, like, really date, because I like you. You funny. You cool. But you try to have sex with me. That threw me all the way off. And he was like, what? Like, yes. And I was like, if a man would have dated me, the first thing he started talking about is sex, I'm gonna be cool on you. I ain't even gonna play with you. Like, you just looking for sex. You hurt. You got mental disorders that you probably gotta deal with. I mean, now if I'm analyzing, but there's a lot going on here. And he like, and then once he dropped me off on this date, I was like, I just want to tell you, like, listen, not every woman. It was crazy because I was talking to him. I was like, not every woman is like that. Some women, like, we really value our body, but we really want to make connections. So here you go thinking that I'm like everybody else, and I'm not, because you see me out with my friends and I'm vibing, I'm chilling, like, and I'm attractive. And I'm not saying that I'm not attractive, but I'm I'm a beautiful person. Like, you gotta really get to know me. Once you really get to know me, you gonna love me. And I'm like, but I don't feel like I should entertain you anymore, or we should make a second date of this because I feel like you only looking for sex, and that's not what I'm looking for right now. And I really want to get to know you as a person compared to letting you inside of my body without getting to know me. And at that moment, he's like, all right, shorty, like, you cool. So fast forward, I ran into this young man maybe like a year later. Okay. And I even forgot about him, but it was so crazy. Once again, this spirit came upon me. And it was like, hey, my grandson coming back around to you. And the grandma was like, I don't know what I could do for you. And this is a grandma talking to me. I don't know what I can do for you, but I just want to tell you thank you because you was the only person to really help my grandson see what he was doing wrong with women. Because I didn't raise him like that. He a beautiful young man. And it's like, she was like, the fact that I passed, he really started going back to his mom. And she ain't really, and he ain't really healed his issue with his mom, but she's like, you helped him see what he did wrong. So my grandson's gonna come back around to you. It was so crazy, guys. Like, this is the most crazy thing. And I was like, spirit, the universe always works in one. I end up running into this young man. And next thing I hear like somebody was like, Naquita. And I can always tell if a guy really liked me or not because depending on the name he calls me. He's like, Naquita. I'm like, who calling me Naquita over here in this hood? Like, I don't even, where was I at? Was I down away? Like, I might have been on the West End or somewhere. I was somewhere. No, I know where I was at. I was in Mount Adams. And next thing I know, because I'm like, don't nobody really know me over there. So I was like, it was like, Naquita. And next thing I know is he's standing there next to this girl. And he has like his wedding band on. I'm like, do I know you? I was like, you know what? I know who you is. And it was like really weird because it came back that fast. Like, I was like, I know who you are. He's like, next thing I know, this lady turned around. She was like, is this Naquita you be talking about all the time? He's like, yeah, this her. And she hugs me. And I'm like, who are you? She's like, I'm his wife. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah. She's like, let me tell you something. And I was like, what's up? She was like, if it haven't been for you to come into his life, because I guess like they have like a really open relationship where they can talk about anything. She was like, my husband said that the thing that changed him to be a better man was you. And I was like, why? She was like, because you did something for him to help him realize what he was doing wrong with women and how he was going through women like they were nothing and using them instead of actually getting to know them and try to be with them. But she's like, my husband said you taught him love. And I'm like, he said, I taught him love. He's like, yeah, like, tell her what you did to me so that way she know what I'm talking about. And I was like, oh, what do you want me to tell her? Next thing I know is she buzzes out like, can we take you out to lunch? Like, so that way we could talk. And I was like, yeah. So we started like talking. And it was kind of like I was placed there to be like a discernment, but to help them out too. I don't know. It was like really weird, but it was kind of cool at the same time. Cause dude was cool. Like, he ain't my man, but she was cool because she hugged me and she told me she loved me. Y'all know how I am. I'm a love vibe, but she's like, I want to tell you like how much I love you. And so when I'm sitting down, she's like, and I tell her the story of what I said. She was like, gosh. And she was like, if it hadn't been for you, because he said that he didn't go out on another date after you until he met me. And I'm like, really? He was like, yeah, he tried to. He couldn't get you out his mind. But I said, that's typically guys, they really like the girls who turn them down. And I was like, well, he never called me after that. She's like, because you really hurt his feelings. And then he said that he felt like his grandma was talking through you to him. Like he said, because his grandma raised him like that, how the way you were talking to him. And I was like, I just sat there and I smiled. And then I felt like his grandma was like, right, because he know better than that. He know better than to do these women like that. I don't like that. His mama might participate in that nasty behavior. And it was like really crazy that like, like being spiritual and stuff, like you being spiritual, you learn to accept the things that you cannot see, but you can actually understand. But if you believe, if you're religious based, that's Holy Spirit talking. That's God talking. And it was like, hey, like, because I didn't raise this person to be this way. And he was like, well, if it hadn't been for you, like, I really value you as a real positive person. I always tell people, like, bro, if y'all meet this girl, don't ever play with her. Just leave her alone. And it was crazy because, like, I think, like, we ended up being at the same party one day, and one of his friends tried to holler at me. I was at a party with one of my friends, and he came over there ASAP, hate on his friend, like, bruh, he got a whole girl at home. Don't talk to him. Like, this the girl I'm talking about. Like, bro, she really on a whole different level that y'all ain't ready for. Like, if you ain't ready to be in that girl, like, leave her alone. Like, for real, for real. And I was like, oh, I love you. Like, and I just, like, it was crazy. Like, that man gave me some money and everything. And his wife was like, her bill on me. Like, I want to, like, what could we ever do for you? Like, if you ever need somebody to come in and talk. And it was so crazy that, like, people can value you in a different way of their light being. And, like, they'll place you in this title in their life as, like, you're the light in my life. But that is a great example of, you know, like, people just in a moment, you don't never know if you in somebody's life as a moment to be a lesson or to be a blessing or to help them come up out of whatever area they really in. And when he was telling me, it was like, I really didn't like the way I was really treating women, but I didn't know how to not do it because my mama was teaching me something different compared to, I guess his grandma been raising him since he was born. And his grandma died. And so it was like, okay, he ain't used to that, but he used to that, if that makes sense, guys. So I always tell people, like, sometimes if you are a part of the religion team or the spirituality team, you could be used to help other people. Like, you know, like, we're all here to help people. Like, that's something that we are here to do. We're here to build relationships. Your first relationship I always go back to is your mom. So you are meant to be in a relationship. If you feel like you're not, you want to be a loner, yeah, you can be a loner if you want to, but you don't have to be. There are a whole bunch of people that really love you that's waiting for you. And it was so crazy that she's like, I just want to thank you for actually, like, really doing that for him to help him see. Like, and it was so crazy because then after that, like, I got like 4 people that was like, man, like, you really a good person. But I want to talk about these people who really they appoint you to the light part of their life and they don't ask you. So, and it's like, I used to like that. Like, when guys used to be like, man, you're the most positive part of my life. I used to sit up there like, ha, ha, ha. But they wasn't the positive part of my life. Like, hey, I know you still a player, you being toxic, but I was willing to accept that back then. That ain't what I'm willing to accept now. But I was willing to accept that. And it's like, I'm not going to accept that. Like, what? How I'm positive in your life and you ain't positive in my life. So what's really going on? Like, you're like, oh, I'm the, you know, like, hey, and you'll get those guys that they know that you are wife material. You got to pay attention to those guys. They know that you are wife material, or you could be a man. And this woman recognized that you are a man and this is the man that she wants. So what she would do is, they still want to be toxic, but they'll keep you on a shelf. Baby, I ain't keeping nobody on the shelf. It's time to go. I'm going to sweep you off. I ain't got time for that, baby. Go play with somebody else. Girl, you ain't finna play with me. And y'all men need to start saying that too to these women. Like, hey, they know you a good dude, but they really don't want to lock in with you. Like, no, baby, I got to go. I'm going to be where I'm wanted at. And y'all have to learn the spiritual balance with that, even with friendships. Like, you know that you are a real good friend, but this person isn't a really good friend to you. You need to leave. Like, you know, and then it's so crazy because you can even have conversation. I'm so deep with my people and my friends. They know this about me. Baby, Pretty Red ENT don't be playing. Okay? Naquita do not be playing. She come raw. And I'd be like, hey, so, you know, like, as a friend, I feel like you need, I'm being good to you. You're not really being good to me. What's really going on? Do we need to talk? What needs to happen here? And people are like, what? No. I can't sit up here and be more of a friend to you than you are a friend to me. That is not spiritual hygiene. Like, yes, maybe the universe put me in your life because you was praying to have a good friend, and I came in your life And I showed you how to be a good friend. But then it was my time to leave once I showed you that. Because you then at that moment, once you prayed, you asked for a good friend, and I came in, or you manifested, you want a new friend, you want to come up out of the energy that you in, you really want a really good person in your life. And bam, I just show up. And 2 minutes later, okay, back people time, 2 minutes later, I showed up 2 minutes later, and here I come, and I'm in your life, and guess what happens? Boom. I'm like, all right, well, I'm here, you're there, slimwear or not, and you still do things that you know that's not good friend behavior. We talked about it like, hey, like I don't, like you do things like, oh, you're used to this, and that, but I'm not tolerating what your last friend tolerated. I'm not gonna deal with you if you can't be a real good person. That's even with down to my family members. Like, okay, like I did some stuff for you, but you overextending yourself in their life, and they're not really being a good family member to you. But yet you still keep going around this cousin that you know that, hey, you showed them how to be a good cousin, and they still refuse to be a good cousin. Why are you around this person? Let them go. Like, and it's okay to let people go. I be trying to tell people that all the time. Hold on, baby. One thing I can say, like, about me and my family, baby, please do not get it twisted. Whether I let this family member go, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot come up to me, talk about my cousin or nothing in front of me. Even though I know my cousin might be exactly how you talking about. But I'm not about to participate in your party with talking about people. I just, not that type of person for real. That's just not in my MO, if that makes sense. But sometimes you got to let people go. I can't keep being the positive in your life, the good in your life, if you ain't the good in my life. What does that look like? Oh, I'm positive. I encourage you. You don't encourage me back. Then you got them people who really only encourage you so that way they can get in your energy. But they don't really encourage you all the way. They only encourage you enough so that way you allow them to cipher or to get some energy, or for you to pour some of your cup that's overflowing that God gave you, the universe bless you. Well, your cup gonna overflow because you've been putting in that overflow. So if you want to shine your light, and that's the thing about when you step up in spirituality, when you step up being a god and a goddess, as a goddess, you can shine your light. If you want to give some of your cup, you can, but you don't have to. That's not I gotta give you this. No, I don't have to do nothing. You gotta earn that. I'm not gonna overextend that. So if I give you my cup and God pour it down to me, and then God say, you know what, I'm gonna be back in a second, go fill somebody else's cup up, and then you should have enough because I've been overfilling your cup. And it's like, I can't keep doing that. And this person just only comes around just to get some water. What? So you don't come around to be positive. You ain't got nothing positive to say. You're always negative Nancy, but you only come around because your energy low. Because that means you feeding off my energy. You feeding off my blessings. You got to be careful on who you allow around your energy. I always tell people that, like, baby, one thing you're not going to do is play with Pretty Red ENT. Like, I don't do that. You either mess with me or you don't mess with me. And there ain't no in between. You can't pick and choose when you want to do something. And no people who pick and choose stuff, I'll let them go. Like, I used to sit up there and have friends that will invite other friends to parties, to events with their kids, but don't tell me at all. But when I have an event, I tell them, or if it's an event where some of their other friends can't make it, that's when they want to invite me. Baby, no. Continue inviting them people because I'm not finna go, okay? Like, no, ma'am. Nah, I'm over it. Like, no. I have people that really support me. And I support them like, baby, you do anything I see it. I'm going to support you. I'm going to share, click, like, whatever it is, because I know that you do the same for me. And that's all that mattered to me. And I be so in love with myself that I can see the love. Like, if I say, for instance, right, I remember One time where was I at? I don't even know where I at because I be alive. Like my life really a movie for real. But I was in this area and this girl, it felt like everybody was just against her and nobody wanted to help her. Like at all. Like nobody wanted to help her. So I came over there and I helped her. As an Aries, we typically do that. But I went over there and I helped her and I was like, hey, let me help you out. Let me help you learn how to do this. And I helped her out. She's like, I just want to tell you thank you. Out of all the people here, nobody thought to come over here and help me besides you. I said, I helped you because I know how it feels to not get help. I know how it feels to people not to really love you. So that's the reason why I choose to love. I know how it feels to just be hated on just because you are black. So I love black people just because of that. Like, bro, I don't care what you doing. I love you anyways because you black. Because, bro, like, I know how it really feels. I know how the opposite feels. And I know how it feels like, hey, you might want a friend and you not in your element and you might have social anxiety. And I used to, even though I'm an Aries, some people don't know that, I used to be really shy. And when I go places, I usually sit down and chill. So when people used to come up like, hey, what you doing? I used to be like, hey. And they're like, man, I didn't know you was just this cool. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty cool. But a lot of people didn't know that. A lot of times people don't understand, like, some people are soft-spoken. Some people are a little shy. So sometimes they need a little extra push to come out of their shell. Like, that's all they need. It's just a little love, a little TLC. And a lot of people don't know that TLC goes a very, very, very long way. Like, I love me so much that I can share that with people. And I don't have a problem with it either. Like, because I'm just me. I don't care. Like, I don't care, like, when people man, I used to be real toxic. I used to be like, I used to be drinking all the time. But some people have a lot of good stories with me when I used to be in that energy to the point where it's like, well, I was doing the same things then that I'm doing now. I mean, I just bring this part out a lot compared to like really hiding it, but people still experience me in a great way. I'm talking about like, oh my gosh, this girl was like, I remember I was in Chicago one day, we was dancing, I swear to God, like this is not a lie. We was dancing, we was coming out, and we was on the west side where we shouldn't have been at, by the way. And I came in, and I'm like, all right, I set my stuff down, I started dancing. You know, Cincinnati people, if y'all know about Cincinnati dancers, I don't care any Cincinnati woman, you know when somebody in Cincinnati, from Cincinnati, in any club. I'm just going to tell you that. I come in, like, okay, like I'm vibing, I do my 1-2 step. Next thing I know is like, all the guys are like staring at me. And like, everybody's just like, oh my gosh, they're just around me. And so this girl came up to me, she's like, do you mind? If I dance by you, like, because other guys looking at me, they're like, come on. Like, girl, I don't care. I don't even care about these guys looking at me. Like, I'm really in love with me and I'm really enjoying myself. Like, I'm in my moment. Like, if you want to be around me, hey, go ahead. But should I have said no? Like, some people would be like, nah, you shouldn't. If you want to shine for yourself, you should have. Nah. Like, cause I don't walk to none of these guys in here, so what's up? Like, nah, I got a whole man at home. At that time, I was in a relationship. I got a whole dude at home. Like, what I need all this attention for? Like, no, like, you can come over here and dance by me. And then one of the people I came in with was like, why you let this girl dance by us? I was like, why can't she? She ain't here by herself. She ain't got no friends in here. And if she do, they obviously ain't popping. So why not let her come over here? And I'm like, okay, like, I'm just not that type of person to where, like, hey, like, you want some, like, come on. Like, if you ask for it, because, see, she asked. Like, hey, you know, I'm trying to catch a prospect real quick. Like, okay, well, come on, then. Like, but I was doing my 1-2 step. But then there was another girl who came up, and I was, like, dancing, do my little, you know, the Cincinnati little, you know, Cincinnati twerk that we do. I just want to say that. And this girl was trying to, like, out twerk me. And I was like, baby, I don't even play games like that because I really hurt your feelings. And then we're going to have to fight in here. And so what's going to happen is I'm just going to let you have your moment. Like, I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm in my own lane. So if you want to sit up there and, like, because you see everybody looking at me, you want to do your 1-2, go ahead. Do it. I'm just going to politely move and just still be in my moment, and people still gonna be around me. And that's what people don't understand either. Because my friend was like, how do you do that? I was like, what do you mean, how do I do that? I was like, I don't know. It'd be so crazy. Like one time, it was my birthday. I remember this. We was in the Ritz. If y'all remember the Ritz, I was in the Ritz at 5. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I remember I was we getting a drink. We probably shouldn't have been getting a drink at all. Or maybe it was like 2. I don't know. I think it was right before like last call, but I think the Ritz used to like do some slick stuff. We ain't finna go there. I ain't finna dry snitch on y'all either. But I remember like, cause we was in there, cause we just left a different club, and that's when we came to the Ritz and we was buying a drink. It was my birthday. I remember I had some money on me. And like I kept noticing, like I went to the mirror and I was doing my 1-2 dance with like me and my friends, like, and I just be in my moment. I don't know how to explain it. Like when I'm in my moment, I'm in my moment. And next thing I know is like this dude, I was sitting up there, I was buying myself a drink. Next thing I know is this dude walked up like, it's your birthday? I'm like, yeah. Stuff like, put $200 down like my my dress I had on. And mind you, I was in there with my dude at that time. Like the dude I was actually in a relationship with, I was in there with him. He didn't even do that. Dude was like, here, you pretty. Like, here, boom, stuff $200 in my chest. I was like, all right, thank you. Like, you know, like when you be drunk, you be like, all right, thank you. Like, and I'm like, gosh, I'm like, who is that? Never seen a dude ever again. And I was like, I don't even know how to feel about that, really, to be honest with you. Then I was thinking about it, like, gosh, I was really pretty that this man just randomly came up, gave me some money, like, whatever. But the thing about that is like, oh my gosh, next thing I know is my friend was like, so this dude just randomly just comes up and gives you $200? Like, facts. Like, well, why he ain't do that to me? And I'm like, it's my birthday. Like, or me and you in competition? Because some people be in secret competition with you, and it's like, it's my birthday. Y'all up dancing, and I'm like, man, I kind of got tired. I'm like, man, we was just at the last club just dancing. We was at the white bar, too. Like, none of my friends, they wanted to go to the black bar, but they wasn't even dancing in the black bar. But when we went to the white bar, they was dancing. So I was kind of confused. Like, y'all wanted me to leave where I was at. I was having fun because some of my white friends was there, and they did not want to come to the black club, which is saying like, hey, like some of them was a little scared because at the Ritz, it was dangerous. You didn't know if they was going to shoot or not. But one of my white friends, they did come to the Ritz for the first time, and they were like, oh, okay, this is cool. It's laid back, but nobody here is dancing. What's wrong? But it's like, we only dance if Future came in, but we don't want to have that conversation. But it was more a thing where you have to be comfortable enough in your skin. And at that moment in my life, I feel like I was showing somebody else something. So when I was talking to this girl who came with like one of my friends to they met us at the black club, and she was like, how are you okay with, like, why you ain't, like, when that girl came up and she was in the mirror, you was in the mirror dancing and you was twerking to the song, and she started twerking like she wanted to like compete with you. Why you just walk away? I said, why am I competing with any woman? Like, girl, first of all, let's talk about it. Like, I'm thicker than a Snicker, because that's when I had that Coke body. Not saying that my body ain't cold now, because it definitely is. But this one, I was like, I was her. I was the it girl. So it's kind of like, what do I care about this girl who's really skins and bones coming up to me twerking? Like, I'm not gay. I'm not attracted to women. So why would I even stand there and do something like that with her? This is entertaining something that I'm not meant to entertain. That's the same thing, guys, that we do with friends. Like, okay, I know I don't drink and smoke no more, but every time I'm around you, you drinking and smoking, which is fine. I'm cool with that. But it's the point when you ask me to do it with you, and I don't do that no more. So why would I be in that environment if I know it's tempting? A lot of times people don't take acknowledgement into some of the situations that we kind of put ourselves in. And I'm like, hold on, like, I like to be around people, because I remember one of my friends, she knew that like I stopped like doing certain things. So every time I came around her, she's like, hey, look, I appreciate Keita in my life. So I want to tell y'all something. Like, my friend don't be drinking and smoking. Don't offer her nothing. She here on account of me. Like we ain't doing what we normally do because she here. And her friend was like, why we gotta change up our way for her? And my friend was like, because I really want to be where she at. And she's showing me the way how to do that. But I respect her enough to say, don't offer my friend nothing because that's tempting her and that's not fair to her. And I never, at this point in time, like this is still one of my really good friends to this day. And I was around her and around people that I used to call my friends that I've been friends with for a long time, never had that much respect for me. But this is a girl I freshly met off the block. Fresh off the block. Do I feel like she was a part of my soul tribe? Yes, she is. And that's like showing me like, hey, you respect me. You respect my boundaries. You also respected me as a human being, like to say like, you know that I can be tempted. So I don't like to be in situations and around people like, you know, I really don't do something, but you're offering me to do something. And I used to be this person. Like I'm not lying to somebody like they're like, man, I just love you. You so positive. But yet you'll want to tempt me. Why? You know I'm sitting there and it's like, I don't do this and you still want me to do this. Like, why? Like I can't be around you like that. I always tell people that like, because I go in like spurts, and I gotta admit that I am a spurts person. My friend used to be like, man, she don't really smoke for real. Because when I used to blow weed, that's when I was back. That's when I didn't have no kids. I didn't have my son yet. So when I used to blow, blow. And people know I used to be in my house blowing, smoking. I used to be smoking, blowing my weed, and I used to be reading my books. So a lot of people, they know that. And I used to just smoke and just lay there and because I stayed on like the 13th floor. So I used to see the whole city in Cincinnati. So it was kind of like I really always had inner peace, if that makes sense. Like I was always content with being by myself. I never needed a lot of people around me. Some people need people around them because they're not content with being happy by themselves. And that's something that they have to work on. But the thing of like what I'm really talking about for real, it's just about like being happy with you, but also knowing spiritual boundaries with people. When they apply titles to you, like, oh, I literally had a person say, you're the good part of my life. And I'm like, so what you're doing is you're honoring me to be this good part in your life, but you didn't even ask me if I wanted to be in that position. Like everybody in your life should be a positive part in your life. Like if you feel like you got to be around me, you can't do the things that you really want to do, then maybe me and you are not in alignment, and that's okay. Maybe I'm just here to show you like how to overcome that. Cause I had a girl, she's like, I was just trying to figure out like, how can I overcome being in this environment with people when I know that I'm not supposed to be in this environment with them, but I still love them. I cherish our friendship, but they kind of don't cherish mine. And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, but I see that with you. So can you talk with me and help me? Like, those are the people I help now. I don't just overextend myself. Like, okay, like I'm telling y'all, like sometimes, guys, you got to really stop overextending yourself in people's life. Like, yes, you see that I'm good. I'm great. Like, but if you're not good and great, me and you can't connect like that. And that's fine. But maybe I'm just here to show you that you can do it. That's the thing that I really don't think people understand. Like, prime example, my ex from Chicago, when he came home from prison, it was crazy. And I'm like, now that like he real successful, I'm like, man, you did it. You had a plan and you did it. Like, you need to be talking to people on how to be successful the same way that you was. And talking to black men, because you did it. You did something that they said that you couldn't do. And you did it superbly. Like, it was like you did it without thinking. Like, he was like, yeah. I was like, for real. Like, because a lot of people just be wondering, like, how can they figure it out? Those are the people that really be wanting to know. You could tell people that really want to know and people who just fake want to know. Like, I'm telling y'all, I be on it. I don't, baby, I ain't got time to be playing with y'all no more. Like, I literally had a conversation with a person like, you know how to be a good friend. Like, you probably was friends with people and you didn't like how they was being a friend with you, and you know how to be a good friend. I'm holding people accountable in every area. Like, yes, I used to be okay with like, I'll be your good friend But I know, and I accept that, hey, you're not a good friend to me because I know that you, and that used to be acceptable part. I know that you wasn't a good friend to me, but I can forgive you to keep teaching you. No, I cannot, baby. You know you're not a good friend. You got to move away from me because, baby, that's gonna trigger me. I'm gonna go completely off. It's like, that comes that balance in me. That comes that acceptance in me. Like, hold on. You ain't about to play with me like that, baby. Go play with somebody else. Like, you know how to be a good friend. Oh, I never had a friend that I could just talk with, blah, 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 blah. If I can't call you and talk to you the same way that you called me and talk to me, baby, please believe you are not being a good friend right now. And I don't care what you're going through because my friends, we talk. We talk like family. And that's the reason why I try to tell people, like, I'm at a stage in my life where I do not have friends anymore. I'll either have family or you move along. Goodbye. But I'm also not entertaining things. I don't think people understand this. We can sit down here in my family, like my real blood family. We can sit down at a family reunion or a family gathering, and people can sit up here and they could be smoking weed. I'm not gonna have nobody be like, "You gonna hit this weed?" None of my cousins gonna come up to me. If I don't walk over there where they smoking, like they like them blunts, they're not gonna come over here like, you wanna, come on, Keita, hit this weed. Like, come smoke with me. They're not gonna pressure me like that. That means they respect me and they understand my boundaries. So what they gonna do is do it on their own. They're not gonna come over here to people that they know do not smoke or drink and ask them that. So if you're around somebody that they're doing things that they know that you don't do, and they want you to do the same thing. Like, it could be an example where, people like to rob people. Because I got a lot of people that listen to my podcast. Whether you believe it or not, a lot of people listen to my podcast. And you know that you're around people, they like to break in people's house. They like to do certain things. Guess what happens? Leave them people alone. If you know that you don't do that, or you used to do it and you want to stop because you know it's wrong and you accepted the flaws and all of that, you're like, you know what? I want to be better. I don't want to do this no more. And you're like, you know what? But you keep being around this person. Every time y'all smoke, y'all get high. You're like, all right, let's go do this. Like, why you keep being around this person that's doing flawless things? Especially them scammers. Y'all know I love my scammers, but, that's that future soul. But they're a scammer. Why would you keep being around people that scam? If you don't like to be scammed, why would you be scamming people? Like, you got to start doing things that reflect you at every step of the way. Like, okay, like I like to give gifts. I like to do certain things. So what's up? If you don't like to do those things, guess what? I got to go. We got to depart, and that is okay. I promise you guys, like, y'all got to start finding people to match your energy. And some people sometimes just be attracted to your light. And some people apply you in positions that you didn't even apply for. I literally had a person, I was like, bro, I feel like you treat me like I'm God and I'm not. Like, I was like, why you said that? I said, bro, because you don't even sit down there and pray to God, but you telling me how much you love me. Are you serious? How can you love me? You don't love God. That's crazy. Whether you believe God lives outside of you or God is inside of you, because my spiritual people know that God lives inside of them, that they are God. So it's like some people believe that, some people believe that God is in them. So it's totally different. It depends on who you're talking to. Some people believe that God is outside of them. Whoever you believe God is, I don't care. Like, but you give more emphasis to me, and it's like, I want you to give more emphasis to yourself. You really should be loving yourself, but you shouldn't be around the things that you're around. Some people really, I'm telling you, I had a young girl probably 4 years ago talk to me. She's like, I'm trying to be where you at, and I've been watching you for a while. I was like, I know, it's really weird how I know that you've been watching me. She's like, but the way how you move is so flawlessly. Like, I'm just trying to get there. Like, can you help me? And I completely told her, this is what you need to do, blah, 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 blah. And it's how you get there. And that girl she on her A game. Like, it's so crazy. It is like, I can't be around nothing don't represent me anymore. I can't. It's not spiritual hygiene to keep doing that. Like, you got to be a better person. I'm a good person, so you got to be a good person. If I see you do something that's flawless, because some people, they do good deeds so that way they can be like, oh, I did a good deed for today. And they feel like that's how they get blessings. But you got to really walk the walk to get what you're looking for real. And some people don't know how to do that, and some people do. But it's like, at some point, you have to accept, acceptance is this really what I really want, the path I really want to be on. Because some people just do it for clout. They do a lot of things for clout. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can just tell when a person does stuff for clout. Because it's like, I pay attention to a lot. I just don't say too much. I just be really paying attention. Like, are you doing this for clout? But y'all gotta be careful because some people they give you a little bit so that way you can pour a lot in their cup because they cup half empty now. That's those people where their energy really typically low. They want a little bit, so they come talk to you because they know your energy high. So they know you gonna pour back into their energy, but they just give you a tad bit. Nah, baby, if you ain't finna to give me what I just gave you, you gonna have to keep it over there, and that's fine with me. But I'm not finna tolerate that. Like, that's not a good friend. But I be trying to tell people, like, I'm not being your friend. Like, people be mad, like, baby, I don't be friends with men. No. Because a lot of guys, y'all got to be careful for my women. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They know you a really good girl. So what they would do is they know they really like you. They'll keep blocking people from getting to you because they want to hold on to you until they finish doing what they doing. Nah, baby, continue doing what you're doing, but you ain't finna hold on to me because I got to go. And y'all got to know that balance. And men, women do that to y'all too. They know you a really good dude. So what they do is they know they still want to entertain stuff. They got to make up their mind. This is where communication comes in and clear communication. People don't like that. I'll call a person out like, bro, you gaslighting? You playing? Like, y'all got to start learning how to call people out on their stuff and don't be scared doing it either. Like, no. I'm telling you, my cousins, no, I'm not even about to play with y'all. Like, what? Like, you just called Sarah, Bill, and Paul to go out to eat with you, but you didn't call me. I'm cool. It was so crazy because my family huge, and I came back into town, and my one cousin's like, "You didn't tell me you was coming in town." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "But I called my cousin, who I ain't talked to since I moved, and she picked up the phone like, where you at? Come over. Make sure you bring my little cousin with you. Like, don't come over without my little cousin." Like, I was like, oh my gosh. But anytime I call my cousin, she picked up the phone. But some people don't understand, like, that's the energy that I give my cousin too. Like, she called me like, what's up, cuz? Like, hey, what you doing? Like, nothing? Come on. Like, she like, come pull up. But I do this. She gave me the same energy I give out, and people don't understand it. Like, I don't care what you say about her, what's going on. But this baby always answers the phone for me no matter what's going on. If she don't answer the phone, she at least text me like, you all right? You good, cuz? Like, you need something? Like, that's even down to my male cousin. Like, I'm really cool with. He like, what's up? What's up with my baby? Even if he busy, he be like, what's up with my baby? I was like, man. He like, you coming outside? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming outside. Well, I'm about to come swing and slide out on you and pick you up. We finna go out to eat or something. Like, and it's just like that. Like, I always tell people, don't be around people, they face don't light up when they see you. They don't smile when they see you. They just don't. I can't be around it no more. Like, if I call you and I don't sense that you smile on the other line of the phone, you won't be around me ever again. You won't hear from me. I will cut my energy off, clear, cut, delete, baby, you gone. I do not have time to be playing with you because we too grown. It's 2024. You got to start holding people accountable for their actions, whether they friends, family members, blood relatives, soul tribe, whoever. Like, no, I'm not about to be sitting up here playing no games with none of y'all. If I sense anything, it's over with. If I feel anything, it's over with. If, all the little extra stuff, my discernment kick in, it's really over with. I got to let you go because at some point, me and you are on two different paths. And I have to acknowledge that. If you want help, ask for it. I'll give you the help and I'll leave you alone. Because a lot of times people really just be wanting help. And I'll be trying to tell people like, yes, I study psychology, guys. So a lot of times when y'all talk to me, I talk to y'all like my psychologist self. But it takes a lot out of me. Like, dang, we ain't called to talk about me. We always talking about you. But see, I got to pay attention to those people who they'll talk about you for a little bit, but they always go back to them. Like, really? What kind of conversation is this? Oh, no, I'm good, love and joy. continue to be that way. And I'm going to continue to be the way that I am. And that's just that. And I'm okay with that. A lot of times people don't understand. I became so content with me to the point where I'm not in control of anybody else's karma. I don't hold nobody else's bags for them. If I hold myself accountable to being a really good friend or a family member to somebody, I hold them the same way. You know how to be a good person. If you choose not to be a good person, that's on you. But I'm not going to overextend myself in your life. I'm not your mama. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, you're not giving me what I need. I move on. Like, I gotta learn how to let go. Let it go, baby. But you can do it with love. I always tell people that, like, listen, like, if I have to have 3 conversations with you on how to be a good friend, we won't have another one. And now I'm at the point now, because I used to do 3 conversations. Once I do the 3rd conversation, it's over with. And I used to actually do multiple. Then I went down to 3. Now I'm down to 1. Once I have a conversation with you, like once, like, hey, I kind of didn't like what you did here and there, and then I see that you do it again, and we just talked about it, I'll cut my whole energy out for you. You won't hear from me. I love you. And I understand that maybe I probably was in your life to show you what a real friend was. But then I also feel like I was in your life to learn a lesson. That, hey, like, I knew from probably the first 3 conversations we had that probably we shouldn't have been friends. But I chose to instead, like, show you real love because I know how it feels to not have a real good friend. And I always tell that to people, like, I know how it feels to not have friends. So what I do is I will show people how to be a real good friend. Or I know how it feels to have cousins who don't act like big cousins. So I typically show my big cousins how to be a big cousin. And it's like, or I show my little cousins how to be cousins. And they appreciate that in my branch. I don't know about the branch of Puppy, but my branch, we kind of do things a little bit different. And so it's a different conversation with us. It's a different appreciation. Even when I'm talking to my little cousins, like, it's like, man, my cousin told me, like, man, you the best big cousin I have, bro. Like, and I know that I sometimes call this cousin a little bit more than you. That's because I know that you don't go out, and I like to go out all the time. But when it comes down to, like, conversations and dealing with you, like, you the person I really call, and I'm like, that's fine. But just make sure I be the cousin that you call when you having a house party or when you doing something with your kids, because I like doing stuff with the kids. So don't just call me when you need some positive remarks. Call me just to check me out sometimes. Give me some positive remarks. Don't say nothing about you. Just give me positive remarks and then call and end that. Because that's sometimes the conversation that happens too that needs to be balanced out that people don't understand. You can call and be positive to people all the time. They call you, you're positive to them all the time, but they're not one time in this conversation positive back to you, encouraging you at all. Like giving you a whole 30 minutes of fame. But yet they'll give you a 10-second fame and you okay with this 10-second of fame. No, baby, if I spend 30 minutes uplifting you, you should spend 30 minutes uplifting me. That's a balance. And so at any time that we're not doing that, then baby, there's something wrong. And I have to disconnect because it takes a lot of energy out of me. And also it's not a balance. Like, yeah, I don't, and people don't understand. Like, no, baby, I'm sensitive, and I don't care about it. I embrace my sensitivity, and I really work on really loving me for real. Like, people don't understand. I really love me, so I really stick up for me in areas like, hey, I'll be talking to myself. Like, if people be mad, like, baby, I'll be like, you need to stop being friends with that person. They know that they're not a really good friend. They know what they doing. They scap, bro. Leave them alone. We're no longer in the skep world. We are in the world where everything is love. And so if we have to do anything skep or be around skep people, leave them alone. Family members or not, you gotta learn how to leave people alone. I'm telling y'all, like, I really learned that. Like, cause when I came home, my cousin, Like, even because she know I don't really like going out, and so we went out, and she know I don't like to really stay. She's like, well, let me make sure I drop my cousin off, like wherever she need to go. Like, we gonna drop her off because I know my cousin don't stay all day. But she really didn't care. Like, she already know my MO. If people know me, they know my MO. I don't really. I'll probably go out for a few minutes. I'll be like, I'm ready to go back in the house. But that's love for real, guys. Like, it's 11/11 Make a Wish show. But that's really love. And I learned to really accept the people that really love me for real. Like, they actually understand. Like, literally, I'm sitting up there, I'm like, I don't want no food because I'm like, I don't know, I don't trust this food. My cousin was like, here, try a piece of chicken. I was like, I don't want no chicken because, I really don't eat it. But my cousin was like, well, you want to get something? I'll get you something. Like that, like my cousin know if I'm out, like, bro, we out, I'm gonna buy you something. I don't care. Like, that's just my love language. That's my love language. So typically, I don't be around people who love language isn't given because my love language is. And so once I learned that, hey, if I notice a person love language isn't giving, I have to like disconnect because we're gonna have a problem. I'm gonna feel like I'm giving you so much and you not giving me nothing, and I'm okay with that. And so if that's not your love language, that's fine, but I have to disconnect because that's my love language, and that becomes to you using me instead of us making the energy higher, if that makes sense, if I'm saying it correctly. But it just makes the vibration higher when you give it, and you give in to not receive. And that's what Oshana's about. It's about giving. You got to give to not receive nothing back. Because a lot of times people just give so that way they can be like, okay, I gave this away so I get some good energy back. Like, no, bruh. You should really just be giving because you want to give, because you're a good person. Like, I give out love because I love that, because I love to receive that back. Whether it's in any form, I redo that to get that back because I like to feel that way. And a lot of people don't understand, like, and it's like, hey, are you kind of doing the same thing that you're talking about? It's kind of contradicting. It's kind of really not. It's like, I like to be treated a certain way. So I treat people the way how I like to be treated off rip. So that way, like, hey, when I'm coming in the building, this is my love language. So if you're not matching what I like to receive, then I know that I should not be entertaining you in general, even as a friend, whatever. I have some cousins that they just, I used to tell people all that. I was like, man, I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, and I noticed like nobody came over. Like, what? I remember that I made this assessment one time. I was like, man, let me stop smoking just to see who all come over my house. Like that, and then I used to be like, oh, people be like, what you doing? And then when I started back smoking again, I used to be in my house and be like, baby, you won't hit this blunt. You finna go do something, but you ain't finna hit this blunt. Like, man, you came over here, you was high. Yep, I'll light up a blunt in front of you. You won't hit it. I don't care if you smoke or not, baby. I don't not care. You did not put it on this 40. But some people, they will use you. And they don't care about how you feel, like, or not giving you anything back. And you have to be like, you have to accept that fact that some people are not going to give you what you give out. And that's okay. But you can't continue to stay. Because that's not spiritual hygiene. That's not you really loving yourself. God wouldn't want you to stay somewhere. The universe wouldn't want you to be somewhere where you're not receiving the energy you give out. That's not what's going on. And sometimes y'all wonder why y'all energy stagnant. And that's why, because you're evolving yourself in relationships and being in places where it's not giving you anything back. Let go and let it flow. I promise you, the moment that you cut it out your life, your energy get back. People don't, baby. Once I notice something starts to change in my life, you gotta go. I'll figure out who it is, baby. You got to go. People know me. Naquita will not. She do not play no games. I will stop talking to everybody. I do not care. Baby, we gonna see who it is. We gonna see, cause you gotta reveal your hand, baby. You gotta reveal your hand, cause I stopped talking to people for like 3-4 months just to figure out who it is. My spiritual soul tribe, they already know, because when I pray, we all praying together. When I'm meditating, we all meditating together. So they already know what's going on because they actually are in tune with spirit, because we are all probably doing the same thing. That's what y'all don't understand. Soul tribes are pretty much doing all the same thing, same time. Okay. Spiritual clients, let's see who it is, baby, because you're gonna need some energy. I'm telling y'all gotta like really tap in with really loving y'all and see who people who really giving to y'all. If people ain't giving to y'all, let them go. I always tell people that like, baby, every time we talk about you and we don't really talk about me. Oh, we gotta go. I gotta let you go. Even if we talk about me for 10 minutes, if we spent over 2 hours on the phone and we talk about me for 10 minutes, but all the rest of those minutes was about you, baby, you gotta go. Y'all gotta start really loving you. Like God didn't put you on this planet to love other people, not love you. That's dumb. That's the dumbest thing I heard. I remember I heard some pastor say that. I said, why would you tell people not to love themselves, but to love other people outside of them? That don't even sound right. Like, how would you even know how to love correctly if you don't love yourself? That's dumb. Like that's not what God wants you to do. God wants you to love you so that way you be able to love other people. And sometimes God placed you in their life, and some people really appreciate that. I gotta tell y'all, because I got a lot of people that really appreciate me. They be like, I love you. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know how to be a good friend. Like, I got people that really love me that probably really wasn't a good friend to other people because they friends be like, but you treat her different. Like, they be literally arguing with them in front of me. And she be like, she actually loved me the way how I like to be loved. You don't do this, that. But she do that. So I show her the same love back because she do that to me. And they be like, whoa. And I be like, hold on. Like, baby, listen. Like, I could be your friend too, but I don't know if I want to be your friend because I see that you ain't really being good friends with her. So it'll be a problem for me and you. If that makes sense. And people don't understand that, like, no, ma'am, I don't play games like that. Like, I'm older, I'm wiser, and it's more like I came to truth with a lot of stuff. Like, I can't overstand myself in people's life, and I can't do this and that. I ain't gonna talk y'all head off too much, but this really has been on my heart to really talk about, like, to people, like, really learn spiritual discipline. Like, whether you're religious or not, spiritual discipline is spiritual discipline. Like, stop overextending yourself in people's lives. Stop giving so much to the point where you're not receiving anything back. If you, I'm telling y'all, once I changed my perspective and I started like, hold on, I'm not receiving the same love I'm putting out. And I actually started like really sitting down doing healing work. Cause a lot of y'all forget, even if either you get baptized, whatever, bro, you still got work you gotta do. Like, you still have work to do. Don't just like work. Hey, work kind of like magic, but baby, you got work to do. Like, no, I started, baby, I got to go in here, heal me. I was like, I'm stop putting love in everybody and put it in me. And that's when I start receiving what I gave out times 20. And it was like, whoo, like, ooh, baby, I'm going to sit down here. I'm going to do this work because I need help. I love me. I love me enough for the both of all of us, but y'all gotta really start taking the time out, really loving you and really appreciating you and valuing you, but also value yourself. If you see that you are around people and you in places that you shouldn't be at anymore because you're not on that vibration, value that and love on you. Like, you know what? I'm gonna take myself out to eat. I'm gonna go buy me a pair of pants. I'm gonna go do something that I really love. And I promise you, you're going to be like, you're going to start changing. You can't keep being around people who's tempting you. Like, you can't be around things that keep tempting you to go back. That's something that's an attachment in you that you got to heal or remove, clear cut, delete. I'm telling you, I was like, gosh, I keep being around certain friends because I used to be friends with people. I was literally having this conversation with my mama today. I was like, and then I'm going to end it after this. I was like, my mom was like, so what's up with, she asked me about somebody. I said, Mama, I had to learn that I was friends with somebody for so long, knowing that we are not the same people. We don't do the same thing. This person likes to fight. They like to beat up people. They really love that. I don't really like that. But I like them because they respect me as the person that I am. They treat me like the light in their life. But they're not really the light in my life. And I don't like that behavior. So typically when you can have a loneliness feeling once you disconnect from something that you was connected to for a long time. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I became friends with a person, and they kind of filled that void for the person I disconnected. Okay. Cause it's like my body was so used to that energy. And even though I cut that energy off, I have to be like, you know what? And I was like, but mama, I really don't like that energy that this person produced. And then I was like, I can't be friends with this person no more. I was like, she's like, you make sense. And I was like, right. And I was like, I just can't be friends with this person at all. I'm over it. And I'm overextending myself in people's life. Like, I know that you do things that I don't do. So I can't be around you. I might can say hi and talk to you spiritually, but as far as like putting you in my inner circle, no. You don't get that spot anymore. I can't just keep putting you in my inner circle knowing that me and you are not on the same vibration. We're not doing the same thing. We don't even have the same goal. You have literally no goals. So I can't be around that. Like, oh, you're a person, you like to lie. I don't lie. So it's a conflict of interest. Why would I keep being around you and I know for a fact that you lie? This is a part of your avatar. I can't keep doing that. I gotta let go because I can't trust you. Not saying that, hey, I trust you to lie. And people don't understand, like, I trust everybody. If you lie, baby, I add it to your avatar. You are a liar, a stone cold liar. So I know that if I'm going to play Mortal Kombat, if I needed a person that lie, I'm going to pick you. But is that a person that I would want on my team? If I'm playing a game and it's about lying, yeah, I'm gonna pick you to be on my team. But if we're playing a game where it's about truth, love, and light, why would I pick you knowing that that's not a part of your avatar? So you gotta start matching people, finding people who match you. I'm telling you, they waiting for y'all. I don't know who I'm talking to today. I might could even be talking to myself. They waiting for y'all. But I literally had this conversation with my mom. I was like, I can't keep being friends with people that I know they do certain things that I don't do. Like, it ain't gonna work. It's never worked. And I try to make it work for 27 years and it didn't work. So I got to do something else different. And I'm like, hey, because if you know what I'm talking about, you don't know, hey. But I kind of was about it, but I really didn't like it. But this person used to get mad at me all the time. And I'll be like, bro, do we have to fight today? There's some times that I feel like, yes, we should fight, but I'm like, do we have to fight today? Like, why can't we just talk it out? I just didn't understand that. But imagine that, like, God used to always place people. The universe used to, all my angels and ancestors used to always place people in my life. Like, these are the people you should be friends with. They don't fight. They don't really do anything. They match your MO to a T. But you choose to continue to be friends with this person who does not match your MO at all. So, guys, like, learn spiritual hygiene, learn it, and learn to really love yourself and value the state that you are in right now. I'm telling you, like, yes, I be around people who love me. If your face light up when you see me, guess what? My face gonna light up when I see you, and I'm gonna be around you. I'm gonna always show you love. But if your face toot up when you see me, like, oh, here she go with the positive stuff, you will never hear from me again. You just hear me in passing. You will never see me, never hear me, never talk to me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm okay with that. I love me. And I love me enough for all of us. Okay. So make sure y'all do that. And I don't know, sometimes, like, it's really a balance thing that you have to really come into terms with yourself. But I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. But guys, stop letting people breadcrumb you with energy. Hey, if you talk for 30 minutes about them, they should be able to talk to you for 30 minutes. If they're not doing that, cut them off. That means they just trying to get some of your energy, some of your good juice. Like, hold on, you need to charge up. So you call me. You need to charge up yourself and stop calling me, okay? Like, for real. But I love y'all so very much. Thanks for always tuning in to the Pretty Red ENT Show. Let me know how y'all feel about the episode, because I always got people that always tell me how they feel about the episode. They really love my episodes because it really helped them, and I really appreciate that. Make sure y'all share, y'all subscribe to me. Make sure y'all leave me a comment at the prettyredentshow.podbean.com. That's my actual webpage. Or you can leave me a comment on Facebook, Snapchat, IG, wherever you find me at the Pretty Red ENT Show. I'm on every platform. So I really love y'all so very much. And make sure y'all love yourself too, the same exact way. Okay? Well, thanks for tuning in to the Pretty Red ENT Show. This is your girl, Goddess Naquita, a.k.a. Pretty Red ENT.